For orchid care tips, there are tons and tons of orchid varieties which occur naturally in the wild. People have been amazed by the beauty of this rare flower. Orchids appear to be delicate, but these plants are quite resilient and are able to adapt to various terrains and environment. A lot of people do not consider growing an orchid at home due to the fact that they find it too complex to take care of. Orchids are easy to grow in contrast to their origin. Here are 4 tips to ponder in growing orchids like a pro. Tip number 1. Keep in mind that orchids are quite sensitive to the level of water around them. Thus, orchid growers should water these plants with much caution. Avoid overwatering your orchids, otherwise you will kill them. A lot of orchid growers make this mistake and they wonder why their orchids just wither and die. Too much moisture can lead to the demise of your orchids as well as the onset of fungal infection, which can lead to rotting of the roots. Tip number 2. Orchids do not thrive like the usual plants we have at home. They don't need to be watered more than once a week. You must determine how damp the orchid is so you do not overwater the plant. If it feels dry, then water the orchids. You should use special potting matter designed to hold orchids and provide them with ample moisture and water. Orchids' roots should have enough space to breathe, and regular soil is too compact, thus it will not be suitable for orchids to grow. Tip number 3. Always maintain the right temperature for your orchids. The majority of orchids may need a drop in temperature overnight and others can tolerate the abrupt changes in temperature. You must know these details so you can grow your orchids well. Tip number 4. Ample light is much needed by orchids. Orchids, like other plants, need sunshine to thrive. Provide this plant the right kind of sunlight similar to its natural habitat. Make sure that you use shades to filter your orchids when you place them exposed to the sun. In this way you prevent the scorching of the leaves and orchid blooms. If you want to learn more about orchid tips, visit www.how-to-take-care-